stories you are about to see are real. The rewards up to $5 million are real. This is Crime Reports and Rewards with Griff Griffin and Dave Michaels, where you stay anonymous, the criminals don't.
The Richmond County Sheriff's Office is investigating a fight on Broad that turned into a wild car chase across the state line and ended with one dead and one shot with their car stuck in the ditch at Greg's Gas Plus. Sheriff's deputies say the fight started on Broad Street, but the shots were fired on the exit ramp leading to South Carolina. Witnesses say shots rang out at about 3:17 a.m. Tuesday morning, April 8th. The Richmond County Coroner's Office reports that 28-year-old Antonio Counts of North Augusta is dead. Investigators say it started when a fight broke out on the 500 block of Broad Street, then turned into a road race where the victims and suspect hopped onto the ramp to Gordon Highway towards South Carolina, where someone in the chase vehicle opened fire. Deputies say it all ended with the victim's car crashing into a ditch outside of Greg's Gas Plus in North Augusta. Witnesses say that even though the crime happened right outside, they still feel safe. Bet they don't know a skinny black male held a knife to a woman's throat on the corner of 4th and Green less than a block away. Not to mention several unsolved murders, rapes, carjackings, and home invasions that are still the people that did it are still running around. If they really wanted to be safer, all they have to do is go to our Facebook page and like AugustaCrimeStoppers.org. Share the pictures of the fleeing and evading felons, and they really will be a lot safer after the bad boys that come downtown to start trouble are taken away. If you have a tip on this case, please call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS. or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and stay unshot. This Irish-looking lad tried to use a stolen credit card, but his luck ran out. And now the Richmond County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help in IDing him. This white male entered the Kangaroo Express on Wrightsboro Road at 4:42 p.m. Sunday and tried to use a credit card that was stolen from a previous car burglary. This lad was wearing dark jeans, a dark shirt, a dark coat, and a ball cap. If you know who or where he is, point our Richmond County Sheriff's Office investigator to this Irish-looking younger male by calling the Richmond County Sheriff's Office at 706-821-1080. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and stop car break-ins. On Sunday, April 6th, at approximately 20:40 hours, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office received a call to the Family Dollar located at 1991 Broad Street in reference to an armed robbery. Investigators learned that a black male that is approximately 6 foot with a medium build was wearing all black with a black mask and had an unknown type black handgun. He entered the business and demanded money. The suspect then fled the scene on foot northbound on Curry Street with an undetermined amount of money. No injuries were reported during this robbery. If you know who or where this robber is, please call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and get paid. Did Fat Albert stab someone at Champion Pines? No, but the guy looked like him. On April 8th at approximately 9:30 hours, Richmond County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched to Doctors Hospital in reference to a stabbing that occurred on the 900 block of Champion Pines Lane in Champion Pines Apartments. Upon arrival, deputies learned that 39-year-old black male Kenyatta Rainey was stabbed in the upper chest during a robbery attempt. Rainey was approached by an unknown black male suspect wearing a black hoodie and blue jeans. The suspect is a light-skinned black male with a short haircut and roughly stands about 5'8" and weighs about 300 pounds. More information regarding this on our Facebook page by searching for AugustaCrimeStoppers.org and liking us. The victim, Kenyatta Rainey, received medical treatment for non-life-threatening injuries and has been released from Doctors Hospital. If you know who or where this stabber is, please contact investigator Brandon Beckman in the Criminal Investigations Division at 706-821-1055. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and stop stabbers. The Augusta Chronicle reports authorities are looking for a suspect who flagged down a motorist on Thursday morning off Bobby Jones Expressway before pulling a gun and robbing her. The victim told police while she was turning around on the 500 block of Artemis Street, a man waved at her to stop. When she did, the suspect pulled a silver handgun and robbed her of her Samsung cell phone, a wallet, and car keys. The suspect searched the victim's vehicle before leaving the area, wiped down the areas of the car he touched, and then left. The suspect was described as a black male about 5'10" and 170 pounds. He was wearing a blue hoodie, black pants, and black high-top shoes with black and white laces. The victim's stolen property was valued at $320. This robber could hijack a car at any moment. Look for wild drivers who may have a gun to their head. Do not approach wild drivers as they may be hostages. If you see someone who is driving like they're a hostage, get their license tag, if you can do so safely, and call dispatch at 706-821-1080. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and get paid. Police say a 14-year-old boy was robbed at gunpoint about 2:30 p.m. Sunday, April 6th on the 3800 block of Crest Drive. According to a Richmond County Sheriff's Office incident report, a 14-year-old victim told police he was robbed when he opened his front door to someone he originally believed to be a friend of his brother. The victim told police that when he opened his front door, he was met by a black male brandishing a black handgun. The victim, who was holding his 1-year-old brother at the time of the incident, was then robbed of everything he had of value, including his peace of mind. How would you feel every time you answered your door after that? If you know who or where this armed black male with a black handgun may be, please call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and get paid. The Burke County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help in finding a man wanted in connection to a home invasion where he allegedly beat the homeowner and her 14-year-old daughter with a pipe. Randall Dowse Jr. is wanted in connection to a home invasion that occurred earlier on Tuesday morning, April the 8th. Witnesses say that Randolph Dowse forced his way into the residence before he allegedly beat the homeowner and her 14-year-old daughter. Randolph Dice is charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault and burglary in the first degree. If you know where police may find Randolph Dice, please call the Burke County Sheriff's Office at 706-554-2133, Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you can remain anonymous and get paid. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office reports a Columbia County firefighter's home was burglarized while he was working a 24-hour shift during the ice storm. Firefighter Jeff Prouty's family says the burglars took off with expensive electronics and priceless family heirlooms. Crime Stoppers want you to know that burglars and thieves are sometimes looked on and protected by entire communities as Robin Hoods who rob from the rich and give to the poor. Only we never see them giving to the poor unless it's a poor crack dealer. There is a certain attitude that if you're not standing guard over your stuff 24/7 that you have too much stuff and you don't need that much stuff anyway. But the facts are that most jobs lost now are the result of thieves and robbers wiping out entire companies when they steal the things that company needs to do their jobs. If a truck is loaded with all kinds of tools that an entire crew of workers needs to do their work with is stolen, as several have been lately, every worker loses their job until that truck and tools are replaced. Sadly, most of the time nowadays that never happens and everyone just loses their job. The good news is these thieves gather in locations all over the CSRA to swap their stolen items for drugs and guns. And when they have these swap meets, they sometimes gather in large crowds. Keep your eyes open for sudden gatherings of people pulling things out of their trunks to sell and flash mobs of customers gathering to buy. This is when you can call the cops and have them ask for ID and inquire about where all this stuff came from. Most of the time, the thieves and burglars are driving on a suspended license, have outstanding warrants, or are fleeing from crimes they just committed and are at the swap meet to buy guns and other items they intend to use to keep on robbing and thieving. So even though the cops may not be able to bust them for all the stolen stuff they're selling, at least they get slowed down a little with court appearances and sometimes even jail. Anytime you see a large group of suspicious individuals gather very quickly and start pulling things out of their trunk and offering them for sale, typically for next to nothing, or if someone is offering you something that they have no reason to have, then you are probably looking into the eyes of a burglar who may take a liking to your stuff too. If you know where any one of these people selling stolen items are, or know how police may find any of their thousands of burglars who are wiping out all the jobs in the area, please call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you can remain anonymous and keep your stuff.
Let's face it, folks, crime can strike at any time, and we have to do all we can to make ourselves and our homes a safer place. Quit just talking about it and just go ahead and do it. Please, go down to your local Humane Society and adopt a good watchdog. For around $100, you get the dog that has already been fixed, had all its shots, with an ID chip in every dog. I prefer a big dog with a big bark. Crooks will not usually hit the house with the aggressive bark behind the door. Just think, a good watchdog might just be the right move for you in these very dangerous times of crimes.
911. I just broke into a house and the owners came home.
You broke into a house?
Yeah.
Where at?
I don't know.
Okay, so are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you with...
I think they had guns.
Okay, where are you?
I don't know.
You have no clue where you are.
And now, we'll be right back after these messages.
I wish my tire had blown out that night. I wish my car had skidded off the road. I wish I'd broken my neck. I wish I'd been crippled. But I didn't crash. I drove to that party and I did meth for the first time. I did meth, and now this is my life. This is my life.
I'm Dave Michaels with this edition of Spot Crime, where we spotlight crimes around the CSRA. We've had 34 assaults in the CSRA. They took place on the 500 block of 15th Street, the 2100 block of C Street, the 2100 block of A Street, the 2800 block of Pepperdine Drive, the 2000 block of Ashley Street, the 1600 block of Lucky Street, Barton Chapel Road, the 1000 block of Clausen Road, the 1300 block of Lenny Walker Boulevard, the 100 block of Avondale Drive, the 2200 block of Southgate Drive, the 1700 block of S.E. McIntyre Boulevard, the 1600 block of Central Avenue, the 2700 block of Thomas Lane, the 2800 block of Glen Hills Court, the 5000 block of Charlie Drive, the 3600 block of J. Dewey Gray Circle, the 2800 block of Caramon Way, the 2200 block of Bandler Road, the 200 block of the Robert C. Daniel Parkway, the 3300 block of Deansbridge Road, the 4400 block of Ederly Drive, the 1100 block of Roselle Street, the 2800 block of Central Avenue, the 1700 block of Walton Way, the 4000 block of Peach Orchard Road, and the 3100 block of Peach Orchard Road, the 200 block of Deerfield Lane, the 2100 block of Gatewood Drive, the 2200 block of Southgate Drive, the 2400 block of Winston Way, the 1600 block of Roosevelt Street, the 400 block of First Street, and the 4300 block of Milledgeville Road. We've had 28 burglaries. They took place on the 2400 block of Brigade Court, the 600 block of Brussels Street, the 3200 block of Heritage Court, the 2300 block of Tubman Home Road, the 700 block of Grosse Tree Court, the 3000 block of Richmond Hill Road, the 2400 block of Golden Camp Road, the 2200 block of Broad Street, the 2300 block of Palig Court, the 3100 block of Greensboro Way, the 200 block of East Telfair Street, the 500 block of Forest Road, the 200 block of Telfair Street, the 1400 block of Ruffin Road, the 3100 block of Augusta Tech Drive, the 1800 block of Covington Place, the 2500 block of Madrid Drive, the 1700 block of West Valley Parkway, the 3200 block of Deansbridge Road, the 200 block of Walnut Street, the 4300 block of White Pine Court, the 2700 block of Barclay Street, the 3200 block of Palig Court, the 2400 block of Amsterdam Drive, the 2200 block of Woodward Avenue, the 2500 block of Lyman Street, the 2100 block of Harding Road, and the 3000 block of Deansbridge Road. We've had 2 robberies around the CSRA. They took place on the 600 block of Macon Avenue and the 3400 block of Wrightsboro Road. 1 damage to property took place on the 3400 block of Jonathan Circle, 1 reckless conduct on Windsor Springs Road, and 1 drug arrest on the 2200 block of Gordon Highway. If you have any information on these or any other crimes throughout the CSRA, call our tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS, where you can remain anonymous and get paid.
Now for an update on the Hester Jackson murder, Richmond County Sheriff's Office Lieutenant Blaze Dresser called a press conference on the 2700 block of Willis Foreman Road to announce a cash reward of up to $9,000 for the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the murder of 56-year-old Hester Jackson. Police are still searching for the shooter or shooters responsible for killing Mr. Jackson as he arrived home on Willis Foreman Road. Those who knew him say Jackson was a quiet gentleman who kept to himself and recently married a woman from North Carolina. AugustaCrimeStoppers.org has added another $1,000 reward payable upon the arrest of the shooters, so any witnesses that may come forth will have cash now and later should a conviction occur, bringing the total amount of the reward in the Hester Jackson case to up to $10,000. Okay, you guys are offering $9,000. We just added another $1,000 to it for Augusta Crime Stoppers. So now you can tell people that the reward is up to $10,000 total. Okay? Is there anything y'all would like to tell the whole world? Who do you think did this? Just what do you think? Who, what, where, any clues? If you have any information about the Hester Jackson murder as he arrived at his home on Willis Foreman Road, please call Lieutenant Blaze Dresser or Investigator Calvin Chu at 706-821-1020 or AugustaCrimeStoppers.org at 706-722-1010, where you'll always remain anonymous and get a cash reward. Now for an update on the Travis Moore murder investigation. As you may have already seen on crime reports, investigators say Moore was gunned down on the 3400 block of Old Louisville Road at Finney Road a little before 2:30 a.m. on Thursday morning, May 26th. Witnesses say Moore was robbed and shot while on his way home from a nearby club, even though he was in his own front yard with another male and female friend who saw the whole thing. Travis's friends have set up a Facebook page in an effort to find Travis's killers called R.I.P. Travis Moore. At the time of the shooting, the suspects were described as two black males wearing ski masks. Someone may have seen stalking Travis in the Old Louisville Road at Finney Road area. However, new information has emerged indicating that one of the robbers may have been white. At a recent Crime Reports and Rewards party at the Roadrunner Cafe on Peach Orchard Road, one of the attendees said a lawn man mowing a lawn near where Travis was shot found a small caliber pistol and offered to sell him the handgun. But at the time, the Crime Reports and Rewards fan turned the gun down. However, after hearing that the gun could be the murder weapon, Travis's friends are waiting for the lawn guy to call this man back so we can get it into police hands for ballistics testing. Now that we know the bullet that was taken from Travis was a small caliber, Augusta Crime Stoppers is doubling our previous reward of up to $2,000 for information leading to the gun that shot Travis, or any information which may lead to Travis's killer. If you think you know how police may find who shot Travis Moore, please call Investigator Blaze Dresser at 706-821-1020. Or, for more information, visit our Augusta Crime Stoppers Facebook page and submit your tip. As always with Crime Stoppers, you may remain anonymous and you will get a cash reward. Burke County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to what may have been a gang war shooting that occurred at 4960 Highway 80 West in Waynesboro at 1:43 a.m. Sunday morning this week. Deputies found that several younger people had been shot while partying at a garage there. The GBI was called in to help. The victims that deputies found were 17-year-old Rakesha Graham, 18-year-old Bromicus Donnie, 19-year-old Shaquan Hines, and 21-year-old Darius Smith. A fifth victim, 17-year-old Brandon Harold, was brought in by family members to Georgia Regents Medical Center for treatment later, as he thought the cops would find out what they were doing and didn't want to get arrested. On Monday, the Burke County Sheriff's Office and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation arrested 3 suspects in connection with the shooting. A 16-year-old juvenile, 19-year-old Takori Lamont Lakes, and 19-year-old Brandell Shaquille Little. Each were charged with 5 counts of aggravated assault and possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. The Burke County Sheriff's Office is continuing with investigation and expect more arrests in this case. The Burke County Sheriff's Office is asking that anyone with information concerning this investigation call the Burke County Sheriff's Office at 706-554-2133. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you can remain anonymous and dodge a bullet.
Consider this an invitation to my gangster nation.
Recent shooting sign of growing gang violence in Richmond County, police tell the Augusta Chronicle's Bianca King. Authorities say they fear that the recent slaying of the teen points to growing gang violence in Augusta. Gang graffiti was spray painted at the intersection of Loftwood Drive and Brookshire Road. Investigators estimate that Richmond County has several gangs. Dijon Cortez Abbott, 17, was charged with murder, aggravated assault, and a weapons violation in a fatal shooting in July on East Kensington Drive. 19-year-old Marquez Eubanks died after being shot at that house party on East Kensington Drive on July 18th, and 2 others were wounded. The man police arrested in that homicide, Dijon Cortez Abbott, is a member of the South Augusta gang 23rd, which is warring with another gang called 600. or 600. Lieutenant Jason Vinson, who worked with the FBI's gang unit before coming to the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, said shootings related to gang activity have become more frequent and are escalating more quickly from physical fights to gunfire. Vinson said he's seen gang members getting more brazen about their allegiance recently. Instead of hiding the gang colors, they're flaunting them and getting t-shirts and hats made to show that they are gang members. The number of gangs in Richmond County is not clear, investigator Ashley Fletcher told the Augusta Chronicle. Every little or big neighborhood seems to have one, she said. Most of the gangs are comprised primarily of teens, but some of the more established ones have older members who are related to the younger ones. Barton Village's OWTT, or the O-Dubs, have been around since the 1990s and is one of the largest. The parents of the grown people I was investigating would claim to be members, Vincent said of the group, that is estimated to have more than 100 gangbangers. 2 of last year's homicides were determined to be the result of gang activity. Danielle Hicks and Tremaine Jones were both fatally shot at the River Glen apartments within a month of each other. Police said the second death was retaliation for the first. Some of the gangs are considered smaller chapters of larger national gangs such as the Bloods, Crips, and Folk Nation. Devon Harris, who meets and speaks with gang members across the Aiken and Augusta area, says sometimes the only thing standing in the way of someone leaving a gang is finding steady employment. But dealing drugs or stealing items to resell are sometimes easier for a recovering gang member than moving on. Up to 75% of crime in any city is gang-related, Harrison estimated. They have to survive. Richmond County Sheriff Roundtree said he's working to create a gang task force that can prevent criminal activity. One of my main goals is to prevent young men from entering into crime or winding up in prison or dying in the streets, Roundtree said in an email. We understand that youth violence is a major problem in our area, and for years we have seen a steady increase in gang-related incidents. Our goal is not just to stop the cycle, but to break it. If you know of a gang crime, please call 1-800-222-TIPS or email your tip to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org or text your tip to 803-441-UP-HIGH, where you can always remain anonymous. The rewards are up high, and you tell Crime Stoppers how you want to be paid.
You've been watching Crime Reports and Rewards with Griff Griffin and Dave Michaels, where you stay anonymous. The criminals don't. If you have any information on these or any other crimes, call our national tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS. Well, you'll stay anonymous and could get a cash reward. You can see this or any other episode of Crime Reports and Rewards on the web anytime at crimereportsandrewards.com. Crime Reports and Rewards is a production of Michaels Media.